All right, thank you very much, D-Limes. What's up, everyone? I am JosephJoestar316, and I will be running the PC version of MGS5 Ground Zeroes, the stealth no kills category. I am doing commentary for today. I will be having Coolman doing comms for me for GDQ because this was kind of on somewhat of a one-off for this. He couldn't make it. So I will be getting things underway with running all the missions, including the main mission entitled Ground Zeroes. And time will start once I hit OK. And the time will end on the very last score screen of Jamais Vu. So let's get things underway in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. As Boss just slowly gets up from his seat. So, like I said, I will be running the stealth no kills category, which basically means I have to complete each mission without being spotted and without killing anybody, with the exception of some things I can get away with. At the very beginning, I'm going to try to outrun this spotlight along with avoiding that guard at the fence line, which is the very first difficult task in front of me. And thank God I made it because I've been having trouble with that all week. I do have a backup strat in case that fails. It just makes this mission go by a little bit slower. If I get caught, I would just basically checkpoint and reattempt it a different way. So, you're meant to go find Chico first by the old prison camp, and then later go on to rescue Paz, except we go for Paz first, since we know where she is. She's in the admin building right up the center here. And we go this way because not only is it faster, but the guard patrol pattern is more favorable when you go here first, so it's wide open. And I'm calling Morpho over as a head start so I can get the first pickup set up. Alright, so I assure you that guy right there is not dead. I'm doing that to preserve ammo for the tranquilizer because I couldn't really line it up quickly enough when shrinking the other one. There is a more aggressive way of calling in a chopper that doesn't involve having to deal with as many guards, but it's a little bit risky for a marathon run, so I'm going to opt out of it. Meanwhile, I'm just going to ricochet up on that wall, shrink the other ones, and then hold up the other three. Redirect Morpho to the center because, again, I'm trying to get it to arrive at a certain time. Gonna pick up Paz. I'm gonna throw this flare grenade at the wall because for some reason they just stare at the flare instead of me. I'm just gonna hold up the other two. Normally I would trank one, but I missed them, so I'm just gonna do a hold up. It'll do the same thing. Hold ups are really good in this game. They just stay held up. I mean, I'm not even kidding. They just literally stay held up. Alright, so next what I'm gonna do is what we call the weightless glitch. Whenever carrying a POW, whether if it's Paz, Chico, or any other, guard or POW, when you sprint into an open door while reloading a handgun, and you make contact with that door, it puts you in a weightless state where you're running at full speed while carrying a body. And because of that, when you load them into the chopper, the animation's instantaneous because they never programmed a loading animation when running at full speed. It's only at reduced speed. When you normally do it. Meanwhile, I'm going to borrow this tank to drive over here, blow up that barrel, which is going to kill that guy, but it's not going to count it against me. Letting the tank go over into the ocean and make a noise so it's a distraction. Meanwhile, throwing a flare to call Morpho back over. Shrink these other two. Sometimes you can get lucky with that chain link fence being open, but it's RNG. It just saves you a few seconds if you get it. And then I'm just gonna run up to that cell to talk to Chico, which is basically opening his cell door. And once again, doing the same weightless glitch with Chico now, while waiting for, while Morpho's waiting for me to get to the L secure. And same thing as before, because I'm running at full speed, Chico just kind of instantly gets transported into the chopper, and then I just see the regular climbing animation. And that is the first mission, more or less. Which, gotta tell you, that went pretty well, actually. I hope I get something like that for GDQ, because for those that have watched me run this game before or in recent streams for practicing, I have had tons of problems with this one. There's just so many things that can go wrong from the very beginning to the end. All right, so first of several score screens right here. So as you can see, no alerts, no kills, decent time for IGT. The whole run is timed in RTA because of the fact there's checkpoints that exist, and they may be used during the run. So because I'm doing a full run, even though you'll see the score screen with the time on it, that's just for that mission, just to point that out. So while I skip through the rest of the credits here, a little background about me in this game is I was looking for a new game to learn at the time when I started speedrunning almost like 3.5 years ago now. And it was 2 years ago that I was looking at this game. I just started playing it one day. I've played it before when it came out and on and off over the years, but something that it just kind of struck me as interesting as far as the stealth no kills category, because up until a few years ago, no one had really done a full run of this. People have done ILs of these missions where they just run them separately, but never really as a full run. And the category itself is very familiar if you're running for stuff like Big Boss or Foxhound, where it has the same elements of challenge, which is the stealth and not killing. Thankfully not as restrictive as some of the other games, but the element of it being challenging is still there, and it's a very fast-paced run over some other games where it's a little bit more of a not as much of a commitment run, but you know, you're running for maybe like an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what game it is. So what I did was the main mission, which is the introductory to what leads into Phantom Pain. What I'm doing now for the next few missions are these side ops, which are not really canon to the story, but they take place at the same base on Gitmo. So I'm going to be using the sniper rifle, which is made available at the New Game Plus because I've beaten this before, using a smoke to camouflage myself. I'm going to shoot both of these guys, which I assure you they're not dying. I mean, they just look like they're dying. I'm going to shoot that barrel so it kills that guard. Throw a smoke here. And then I'm going to shoot. Okay, that was actually really close. So what I did there is I injured both Glaz and Politz, and I ran back to the checkpoint I just came from, and what's going to happen if I did it right... Okay, unfortunately I didn't get it right on one of them, which is fine. I mean, this happens. What is supposed to happen is, because you injure the target and then you run to a checkpoint, it advances the mission forward to the point where it indicates, oh, look, you injured the target, so therefore they must be bleeding out. So I'm going to try this snipe again. That's target B. Okay, this guy is not cooperating, so I'm going to try really carefully to hit him without actually directly killing him. Come on, stand up. Okay, he's not cooperating, so I'm gonna try that again. This can happen sometimes. It's why I have an estimate of 35 minutes for situations like this.
One target down, one to go. His buddy's on his way to hell. Don't let him travel alone.
Alright, again, I'm just using the smoke to camouflage myself, so when I fire, it's not gonna alert everyone to my presence right away. Alright, there we go.
That's target B, Politz.
Okay, never mind. I thought I got him, and I got him again just to make sure. But that one was a direct kill, so that's not gonna fly. Which is fine, you know. I mean, this can happen. I usually have trouble with the guard and the tower, not that one necessarily, so that one's kind of throwing me off a little bit. But thankfully, this one's a really quick reset. Really praying that one doesn't happen at GDQ either, but again, it's ground zeros. It's unpredictable at times. So, same deal as before, just gonna have the smoke and the sniper setup. Throw it at this batch of grass over here. Swap to the sniper. Gonna really make sure I'm locked onto him. There's nothing really getting in the way of the shot. Sometimes if you're trying to aim like through part of those tents over there, maybe that gets in the way. Otherwise, I just don't have a clue why it does certain things that it does. Alright, so same deal as before. I'm just making sure I have a clear path to the checkpoint. You'll notice that I'll stun them with the AR just to stop them from spotting me right away. Okay, there we go.
One target down, one to go. His buddy's on his way to hell. Don't let him.
Alright, so that's what was supposed to happen. So now I could just exit the mission area just by going to this guard checkpoint. Oh yeah, pay no attention to that guy following me. He's just... I don't know. I think he's just here for the show.
Mission complete. I'm stunned, boss.
So you might be wondering, well, wait a minute. I just clearly saw you just shoot both the targets, and all of a sudden the game says, hey, they're eliminated. How is that not a kill? Well, again, there's a fatal injury mechanic in the game where you can injure a guard to the point of being near death, but if they bleed out, it doesn't actually count as a direct kill against you, which is a very big advantage for that mission. Is by injuring them with the sniper rifle and then running back to the checkpoint, the game kind of acknowledges that you know, accomplished the objectives, and it just moves the mission forward so that when you spawn back in to that same checkpoint, they just spawn out, you know, and then it just confirms that they're killed. So for this one, it's a flying rail shooter with a little bit of brief exiting the chopper of things I gotta do. And I personally like this one because it's the only mission where you don't have to worry about stealth because, well, they already know I'm here. You know, so the main thing is just not killing anything. So we're just gonna jam to some tunes and admire this Moai statue head that somehow got placed up here. Don't ask me how. Maybe they had a really big, tall ladder or something and they did it. Alright, so for my main weapon, it's going to be the Uragan stun revolver. It's a 5-round revolver that shoots rubber rounds. And my main task is taking these guys out as early as I can, while again trying to avoid any direct kills. Which, there'll be some exceptions to that. So that guard tower there, I'm gonna use the grenade launcher, aim at the base, so the explosion won't be directly affecting the guard, and him falling down is just an unfortunate accident. It's not a kill, I assure you. So I'm gonna take out that guy, see if I can get the driver, which I did. 2 more. Okay, that actually wasn't bad. That was pretty good. Getting those shots lined up early enough is really challenging. I mean, heck, the whole mission is a challenge because you're trying to shoot while in a moving helicopter for, you know, for turn's sake, right? So it's obviously, you know, already hard enough. Alright, so we're gonna change tunes again, because again, we're trying to make this mission fun. Even though some people may view this as a really, you know, lengthy rail shooter. But we have a special guest for this run. I'm not going to say who it is. I'll just kind of leave that in suspense for the time being. Alright, again, I'm just making these shots as early as I can. You can use barrels to your advantage, which is what I was kind of inferring to earlier about not killing guards directly, with exceptions, and the barrels are that exception. You know, which is a universal thing you may have noticed in other games where if you shoot a barrel with a guard next to it, they will die, but it is not counted as a direct kill, which is very advantageous in this game especially. Oh, I think I got it. I'm just previewing a strat for the next mission.
You handle that vehicle like a pro. I'd expect nothing less.
Alright, take out these three. Shoot the barrel. And the driver. Not gonna lie, I almost did think of DualShock 2 myself when I saw that. Alright, so for this one, I'm gonna try to go on this early shot on this guard over here, which I did get. Wow. Alright, you don't have to do that, but it makes it a lot easier if you get it, you know, early. And for this one, I'm just gonna let the barrel do its job. You can shoot him, but it just looks cooler if he crashes into the barrel. Alright, so for certain parts of this mission, you want to clear them out as early as you can, not only just for being fast, but there are certain sections where Morpho will not advance unless if the guards nearby are neutralized, which definitely includes this section here. So, for example, if one of these guards was still upright, then Morpho will not move on, and you will get, like, this next load in here immediately.
Take him out. Secure the LZ.
Let's see. Oh, I didn't get it. There's actually a thing you can do in this game where if you shoot that guard on top of that sandbag pile there, there's a chance that it'll launch him up into the air. Because the game is certainly not broken when it comes to stuff like that. I swore to Coolman that I would try to go for it for GDQ if the opportunity is there. Alright, so now we're getting to the point where I have to disembark from the chopper. Take out a last set of guards here. Very nice. Alright, so what I gotta do now is pick up a rocket launcher that's over here, along with having grenades on hand at the ready, for a tank that's scripted to show up when you reach over to that Jeep. So I'm gonna throw 3 grenades at this painted white line on the ground here. And then I'm gonna shoot 1 round of rocket to the back, because the armor on the tank is weakest underneath and at the rear. So their grenades will kind of weaken it, along with 1 rocket to the back, which will be more than enough to take it out. Sometimes if a grenade doesn't hit it directly, or if it kind of rolls away, what you can do is use a grenade launcher from the assault rifle that you have as a backup. Alright, so we have the mystery guest aboard now, and we're just going to be flying out of here.
Via the southeast coast. Take out any pursuers. It's all up to you, boss.
Oh, nice. Oh, wait. Yeah, I meant to reload this. So, the last thing you gotta do here is take out this enemy chopper. And you have to be very delicate how you do it, because there's a guard on the inside, right, that's shooting a rocket launcher back at you. So what we do is we aim for the tail of the enemy chopper, so it'll deal damage without killing the guard that's in the middle. So I want to take this chopper out at a certain time, so I'm just kind of waiting for a little bit for him to shoot the enemy antenna tower while firing 1 last round at the tail. So if I time it right, it's going to hit that other tower there to make it blow up sooner. And I assure you that guy there is not dead. It was just yet another unfortunate accident at this base. And the reason why we want to take out that chopper a certain way is so we get a faster flight exit. Meaning Morpho will take like a more direct path to the mission exit area instead of kind of idling along for you to take out the chopper otherwise. So you might be asking yourself, well, who was this mystery guest that you just risked your life for? I mean, you just flew all over the base protecting them.
We're leaving hot zone. Returning to base.
Kinda looks familiar.
Confirmed. The target is
Just
safe.
something about it. Wait a minute. It can't be.
That was perfect.
And in traditional fashion, Hideo Kojima literally puts himself in the game. So we just saved him from the clutches of the Marine base, or however we want to look at it. It's just an ongoing meme with his development of the Metal Gear games, where there's some type of reference or Easter egg of him, whether if it's the blackout screen in the Mantis fighting MGS1, the ghost picture in MGS2. He puts himself in the game in Peace Walker as an operative, and same with this one. Just another traditional Kojima being Kojima. So now we're back on the track of stealth no kills again. The last one was kind of the no kills mission. This one is back to what we were doing before. So we start off in this truck, and we're gonna hop out immediately. And I'm gonna run down this hill here, hop over this barbed wire fence. So our mission is to get this cassette tape from an intel agent disguised as a Marine, except we're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna be going for a fake cassette tape that's in the guard tower up there instead. Because the mission doesn't care how you get the tape. So what I'm doing here is throwing a flare to get Morpho a head start while throwing in another one to get his attention off of me and focus on the grenade while giving me a chance to hold him up. And then I'm gonna shoot against this wall to freak out a guard, which is gonna stop their patrol while I have a chance to grab smokes. Because there's a camera on the inside of that room in the guard tower there, so we're gonna use a smoke to fog it up. Fire another round off to stop another guard. Okay, my smoke was bounced off the wall, so that's fine. If you throw the smoke up there correctly, it'll actually fog up the room, so you won't have to shoot the camera directly. It'll just obscure it, so you can just go in and out easily. So we got the tape. I'm gonna throw the smoke in a Jeep, hop in. What this will do is it'll kind of cover my approach from a distance. It's a very similar tactic to runs in Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, where the smoke, even though on a moving Jeep, just kind of acts as an obscured moving object. It will work from a distance, but it will not work up close, so you have to be really careful how you do it. And Morpho just acts as a decoy. Right? I'm not exiting with Morpho, it's just acting as a decoy to get all of its attention off of me as much as possible. And that one more or less went fairly well. You just want to get the tape, hop in the Jeep, get out. There are some variables of RNG you have to worry about at times, but thankfully none of that severely happened at that time. Sometimes the truck can stop. Sometimes the guard that you try to misdirect or distract doesn't fully get distracted and they spot you going in the Jeep. People who have ran this game just dread going into missions like that at times, me included. Just of all the variables you have to juggle through at times. Including this one. The destroy the anti-air emplacements. So I'm going to try to go for the fast strat. There is a chance that it can get messed up, but it is faster if I get it. So because it's New Game Plus, I have all these weapons available to me. I'm going to go for this long-range grenade shot across the base. Okay, unfortunately I didn't get it, so I'm going to try it again. And if I still mess it up, there is a backup strat.
Destruction confirmed. Only one. Target destroyed. That was smooth, boss. Real smooth. I'd expect nothing less.
Okay, not gonna lie, I'm actually surprised I got away with that without getting spotted, because I was really late on that second grenade launcher shot across the base. So I'm gonna plant 3 C4 on the ground, waiting for a tank that spawns in as you destroy 3 out of the 4 anti-air emplacements. Alright, so I'm gonna get closer to Morpho before I check the map. Because I do not try to detonate this blindly where I just detonate without looking.
There's something there.
Alright, so I still got a little bit of time to get a little bit closer. Alright. There we go.
Alright, you've destroyed the targets. The Hellboy assault will commence now.
Alright, so the idea of doing the mission this way is the mission exit is closer through this LZ here by the El Prison Camp rather than the area you start from. But the risk goes up a lot. Having more risk of being spotted, as well as that challenging grenade launcher shot across the base.
That was incredible, boss. I don't know how you stay so...
Honestly, like the first mission, if I get anything remotely like that, I'll be happy. The backup strat, which is safer, should that not work, it has a slower exit speed. Because I'm redirecting more to a different LZ to escape from. And it just slows it down by like 20-25 seconds. It's not necessarily the end of the world. It's a safer, more consistent strat, but if you're going for PB world record, the one I just did is the one you are more inclined to do. So we're done with the side ops, and we're doing what's called the extra ops, which are basically DLC that was added after the game's release. So I'm going to set the scene for you guys. All right, Shadow Moses. We're sneaking in as Solid Snake. That's right, the Solid Snake from MGS1. I mean, it literally is the polygon model of MGS1. Forget the night vision goggles. I mean, that's just for show. So we're about to enter and start this mission of MGS1? I mean, I'm hearing the music of MGS1. I see Snake, so it must be MGS1.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Yes, you did.
Boss, I've uploaded
So,
some photos to your
Deja Vu, in summary, is basically a recreation of scenes that are from the original MGS1,
As usual, this is a
where you only have to recreate 1 out of 6 cutscenes. If you want to get the quiz at the end, you have to do all 6. Which in this case, we're only going to do 1, along with a second one, which is purely for bonus. It's going to be for a marathon at AGDQ. So that smoke is the one we usually go for. You know, so you just go for the smoke and leave. But for marathon purposes, we're going to do this one too. Wait a minute. I have this eerie feeling that someone's watching me. Wait a minute. I knew it, man. Mantis is always up to no good. Alright, so now we're gonna exit. Which, we're gonna take out this guard. And we're gonna do a vent glitch where you basically crawl in and then pop right. And then just either walk or, you know, hop over to the mission exit area. I see you like D-Limes and JosephJoestar316. You know, it's funny that you say that, T-Tree. Because, I mean, that's 100% true. T-Tree, chat, in case you're wondering, is going to be the host for the run for Ground Zeroes, as well as the, if I'm not mistaken, the race for Apache and Vermilion for MGS3 European Extreme. So definitely give them, you know, good round of applause for, you know, contributing and volunteering for hosting duties for AGDQ 2023. Good to have you here. All right, so we're on the last mission where we're taking over as Raiden from Revengeance. Except, you know, he feels like he doesn't need to use the blade. So we have to take out Snatchers, which are disguised as Marines, while not killing the real ones. So we're going to use the Sniper, which again is made available through New Game Plus. We're going to use the same injuring method that I did in Renegade Threat, where we're going to injure the targets we need to, and go to a checkpoint to fast forward the bleeding effect. you know, that fatal injury mechanic. So when I spawn back in, it's going to say neutralize 5 out of 10, which is what we want.
Send the target's predicted field of movement to your iDroid. Eliminate the snatchers.
And then I just memorized, like, where the real snatchers are against, you know, the non-snatchers.
Human and snatcher by marking a target.
You know, in case you're wondering, like, it's not random or anything, it's consistent. So we're going to shoot the barrel here, shoot the camera, and if I'm quick enough, get a hold up. Which I did get. If you don't, you can just knock them out or trank them, doesn't matter. It's faster to hold them up if you time it right. And this is probably the hardest part for me, is getting the sniper shot on the passenger. Because the passenger is the snatcher, the driver's the real guard. Okay, then we're just gonna injure him, shooting him in the leg. And that was the first half of this mission. So, Morpho is going to get called in, and while we prep, we're going to grab C4 and a rocket launcher. And what we're going to do is, while Morpho is getting to the helipad, we're going to plant one C4 here across from this dumpster. And then we're going to run back into the middle to trigger the next part of the mission, which is eliminating the wave of snatchers. And then we're going to hop on top of this guard tower for this vantage point here, which is going to not only give us a good shot against this guard coming up here, but all the remaining snatchers spawn in through this door right where I'm aiming, and I'm just going to aim right as the door opens. And then as I eliminate the first group, I detonate the C4 I planted, which is going to take out a pair of snatchers that spawn in. I'm going to aim at that traffic cone while shooting out 2 more. And I'm going to fire 2 rounds into this chopper. And then you'll notice I'm doing this, like, item cancel for this reload, which is just bypassing part of the reload animation. Oh, wait, did I not hit him? Okay, well, I definitely hit him now. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there, but I'm just gonna go along with it. I mean, he didn't go back like he was supposed to after getting hit twice. Okay, I don't know why Ryan decided to hop off, but no worries. Okay, so I kind of did that a little bit out of order, but that's fine. Oh, and don't forget, this run is brought to you by
Productions.
Alright, so we're just gonna hop on the chopper and ride off to the last score screen. Alright, so since I have about another like 25-30 seconds, I just want to give shout-outs to D-Limes and Lime City for hosting this stream today. Shout-outs to the Metal Gear speedrunning community, all the MGS5 speedrunners. Shout-outs to One Coolman XLF, even though he couldn't be here. He will be doing commentary for my run for AGDQ. And, you know, just thank you for watching. You know, if you enjoyed watching this, look forward to my run at AGDQ 2023 on January 8th. I'll be on day 1. Run's gonna be around 9:30 p.m., 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is time.
All right, mission clear. Great work. You leaving already?
Wow, just under 33 minutes, 32:59. So, not bad,
All right,
not bad.
Thank goodness for me.
A couple of sketchy moments there in a couple of missions, but overall, that was a pretty good run.
Yeah, Renegade Threat is always a fun one when it doesn't want to cooperate, but that's why it's the estimate it is.
That's right. Anything else before we get ready for the next run?
No, I think I said plenty, and you know, just thanks for having me here again. It's good to be able to do stuff like this, and again, if you're looking forward to watching this run, I'll be on January 8th. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be the first time it gets on the main stage. It was on a bonus stream a long time ago, but the run's changed since way back, and it was released back in 2014. Hard to believe. But yeah, thanks again for having me here.
Alrighty, with that being said, we're going to get ready for the next run. It is a race between Blue Metal and Alien Mega Man Legends, any percent normal on the N64. Give us about 5 minutes or so, we'll get that ready for you, and we'll be right back.